Ladies and gentlemen, as we enter the festive season, India's most respected nutritionist is sounding an alarm. He is calling out India's food delivery platforms for delivering food in plastic packages that are toxic and very dangerous for your health. But is it fair to put the entire onus on food delivery apps alone? Shouldn't the onus also be on restaurants that pack this hot food in cheap plastic containers, thereby making it toxic? Shouldn't the onus also be on us consumers to demand better? After all, if we demand better, they will have no options but to deliver. Luke Coutinho is joining me on the show from Mumbai as he campaigns for healthier packaging options for consumers. Luke, thank you very much for speaking to Mirror Now as always. Always a pleasure to have you. We are already in the festive season and you have sounded an alarm once again over food deliveries. Can I ask you what exactly has triggered that?
So thanks for having me here. So a couple of months ago, we actually reached out to platforms very politely to, they have the power and they have the ability to encourage their restaurant partners to have two options. For people who want to continue having their food in plastic, let them have that. But what about the health conscious people who understand the dangers of putting heated food, into a plastic container? Today it's well established medically, it's well established across the world, the dangers of putting hot food in a plastic container, sealing it. It takes probably 45 minutes to reach your residence, another 15, 20 minutes for you to maybe eat it. By then you have a lot of chemicals that have leached into your food, which are endocrine disruptors, creating reproductive issues, thyroid issues, obesity, and even some connections to cancer. So we reached out to them politely asking them that ask your restaurants to put an option. So if I order my food today on a platform, it says, do you want it supersized? Do you want to add some more cheese? Do you want to add some more? Do you want wheat flour? Do you want milk? Do you want almond milk? What about, do I want my food packaged in sustainable, biodegradable, or plastic? So at least the option is there for people to select this, because heated food in plastic, like I said, is an established health hazard. So we didn't get a response, and then we raised it again, because it's not the responsibility, but you have the ability to create this awareness, especially if you're claiming to sell health and if you're claiming to care about the wellness of the country and the wellness of citizens. So that's why we reached out to them again, and we've given them ideas. In fact, social media has given people ideas, because let's be honest, right now there are restaurants which are serving even curries in biodegradable, sustainable containers. So the possibility is there. We want to be fair to people. We don't want to say that everything should be plastic free. But I think citizens of India who are concerned about their health have a right to this option and pay more for it. Restaurants shouldn't have to bear the cost of this. If I want to order in sustainable and it's going to cost me more money, I have the choice to pay for that. We're not asking restaurants, or we're not asking the platforms to take the hit of those economics.
Okay, so this is the counter argument that is often made by restaurant owners when it comes to green options. They say we've tried the alternatives, but when it comes to soups and curries that are very often ordered by Indian consumers, there is a problem with spillage, there is a problem with leakage. So if we don't use plastic, we really don't have a choice right now.
Absolutely, but then that would be true for everyone. There are many, many restaurants who are doing soups and curries and biodegradable as well. I personally order it myself. A lot of our patients order it. And that's not always the issue. It's also on how it's delivered, how quickly it's delivered, the mode of delivery, and all of those things. It is a challenge, I understand. And that's why we educate people that, hey, listen, if you have a problem or you want to take care of your health, then don't order curries and soups in plastic. Go to options that give you biodegradable. And like I said, there are many, many companies that have offered that solution to restaurants. The point is, will that be taken up? So we're not over here to kind of tear down brands and, put pressure. We're here to create the awareness and ask brands to look at it. Because across the world, not just in India, in Dubai, in the United States of America, people are using biodegradable right through. So what's stopping us from using it? Everyone will always have an excuse. But as you and I speak right now, there are restaurants in Mumbai and Delhi that are doing this. We put up a post a few days ago asking restaurants who are doing biodegradable to tag us. And we had hundreds of them who are already doing it. So why can't this be made uniform across other restaurants as well?
So, you're putting the onus on restaurants, you're putting the onus on food delivery apps, right? My point is, why should they bother? Given the fact that consumers are not asking for these choices. Because if there's pressure from consumers, okay, you're talking about it, but there are not many people like you who are talking about it. So if Indian consumers are not demanding better, why should food delivery apps or restaurants bother at all?
Absolutely, because there are so many people right now who don't care about their health. But what about the people who care about their health? We still deserve an option, right? And many of these people don't have the awareness to not eat in plastic, to not put hot food in plastic. So many people in corporates still carry their lunch in a plastic container and put it in the microwave and heat it. So there's a lack, just because there's a lack of awareness doesn't mean we don't do it. At the end of the day, I'm all for people having their choice. You don't care about your health, you want to eat in plastic, fine. But what about the people? What about the younger generation that wants to do it? What about senior citizens who want to make the change? The option has to be made available. There can always be arguments about everything, but as a right for Indian citizens, as consumers who care about their health, the option should be there. And that's actually the sad part of our country, because people believe that it's okay, everyone's doing it, let's do it. But they don't understand the health impact it's having. Today, we have people from Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities who are demanding this. So the choice should be there.
You've talked about the health impact in the last 5-6 minutes. You've spoken a bit about it, but I want you to expand on it. You're telling us we are not aware of exactly what piping hot food in plastic packaging does to our health. Could you tell our viewers what it does in the long term and the short term?
So I'm going to be very honest with you. Let's say you're carrying Diwali sweets from your friend's place to someone else's place. This is not heated. If you're using food grade approved plastic, it's not going to create a harm. The point is, when you take plastic and you put heated food, let's do a quick role play over here. You order food from me, it's got to reach your place in a particular amount of time. So number one, I'm cooking, the restaurants are cooking on high heat to cook food faster. Now I take that food and I put it into a plastic container, immediately seal it and tape it. So I'm retaining the heat because you have the right to have hot food that reaches your place. It probably takes an average of 45 minutes to an hour to reach your residence. Maybe you eat it after 15 or 20 minutes. This heat in plastic leaches BPA. Why do you see so many people selling plastic water bottles with BPA free? Because that means it doesn't have BPA. But now all these plastic containers that come to our homes have BPA. Heat leaches the bisphenol A into your food, and that's going into your system. If you look at the plastic containers that come into our home, they're flexible, you can move them. That's because they put a chemical called phthalates that makes flexibility in plastic more. You can bend it, you can move it, it's flimsy plastic. That phthalate gets into your food, and this is disrupting our hormones in young children, men, women, reproductivity, infertility, obesity. They're called endocrine disruptors. And where is India at the highest when it comes to our health problems? Hormonal issues. I'm not saying your hot food and your plastic is the only cause. There's also sleep deprivation. There is also sedentary lifestyle, stress. But if I am ordering, I'm going to be honest with you, if I order food once or twice, it's not going to impact me. But what about people who are ordering every single day? So the idea is not to make a big deal about it, but to create awareness, and just a restaurant gives you two options. I can do biodegradable at this cost. I can do plastic at this cost. But people have to wake up to the fact that heated food in plastic, or heating your food in plastic, is now causing all these kind of problems which have been medically documented.
I think then it's fair that consumers are offered an option. I do think the point you're making is absolutely fair. One of the things that you've spoken about on Instagram is about analog paneer. We are entering the festive season, as I said, and one of the dishes that is ordered is, of course, butter chicken, and the other is butter paneer, ordered across India by households. What is this analog paneer? Because as far as I know, FSSAI has approved it. It's not exactly, well, it's approved, is the point I'm trying to make. Is it unhealthy for you? Still unhealthy for you?
It's a choice. The FSSAI has approved it. It's not real paneer. It doesn't have real dairy, and it's got a lot of vegetables or vegetable oils added to it. And the FSSAI has clearly categorized it. If you ask me personally, is it a healthy food? Absolutely not, but it's a choice for people. I think the issue we have is that, again, if you are ordering a paneer dish from a restaurant and they are using analog paneer when you think you're getting dairy paneer, that's not right. So if a restaurant is ordering analog paneer and you know when you're ordering a palak paneer, it's written analog, now it's your choice. It should be cheaper because analog paneer is very, very cheap compared to dairy paneer. But you have the right to know, what am I eating? Now, if you want dairy paneer, you want select that option. But restaurants are not giving us that option. To increase their margins, they're ordering analog paneer, selling it to you as paneer, and you're not aware of it. Now, consider someone who cannot have vegetable oils, who has a triglyceride problem, who has diabetes. We're the diabetic capital of the world. Imagine children getting this with the mothers thinking that this is real paneer. It doesn't matter if we're a vegetarian country or a non-vegetarians. A lot of non-vegetarians are also dependent on paneer as a protein source, but we should be getting real paneer. Analog paneer doesn't have even 1/3 of the paneer that dairy paneer would have. And then we're a country that has gut issues. How do you think analog paneer is going to do on a weak gut or on a healthy gut? It's going to make it weaker. So again, we're saying I'm not here to fight the FSSAI and say, get rid of analog. There's a lot of junk in our country anyway. But we have the right to know what we're eating. When we go to a restaurant, we have the right to know on the menu, is this real paneer or is this analog paneer? And that's what we're asking for. We're asking for transparency.
Last question. The festive season in India also means the food season in India because our festivals are very closely linked to food. Any do's and don'ts?
Absolutely. It's very, very simple. We don't have to make this festive season stressful. It's all about intention. Are you going to eat Diwali sweets and overeat it because you're greedy or because you want to have a good time? It all starts with intention. I can have 3 or 4 or 5 pieces of different sweets, feel psychologically happy, make the family happy, and still be fit. Can I go for a Diwali party and have sweets, but hey, I feel good because I worked out in the morning, my breakfast was good, my dinner was good, knowing that I'm going to go out and have an outside meal? Can I bring in control? Or does a festive season mean we have to be greedy and we have to overeat? So it honestly comes down to intention. Have a great Diwali, eat a little bit here and there, balance it out, and that's how it should be. More important, choose your sources because there's a lot of adulterated sweets in the market. So you want to make sure that if you're eating Diwali sweets, at least they have real ingredients and not fake ingredients.
Luke Coutinho, we'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. I hope our viewers have learned something today. Thank you so much for joining us. You're sounding out a warning and you're asking for options, which I think is an absolutely valid point. Thank you very much for joining us on Mirror Now.